Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, I'm Chase Sr. We have the latest around Brandon Aiyuk, what Adam Schefter and Albert Breer had to say on the NFL Insider front. And Aiyuk said earlier this week on TikTok, the Niners don't want me back. I'm going to explain why I would be shocked if San Francisco actually told him that. Adam Schefter is right with me, by the way. Let's first take a look at our June sub battle. We continue to dominate the Seattle Seahawks channel here under the Chat Sports umbrella. And let's continue to tack onto that number. In recent memory, in recent years, the Niners have owned the Seahawks on the field inside the NFC West. Let's continue to have those bragging rights inside the walls of the Chat Sports studios. Hit that sub button for informative, insightful, entertaining, thought-provoking Niners coverage every single day from the leading Niners channel here on YouTube and the largest independently run Niners channel on YouTube that covers this team every day. I want to start with this. Let's give you a little bit of a refresher as far as the notable offseason happenings. This is a tale, a story of sorts, of a classic standoff and contract negotiation when a player is looking for a big deal and the team won't budge. You think back to what happened right after the Super Bowl, in the aftermath of the Niners losing to the Kansas City Chiefs back in February. Aiyuk's close friend said Aiyuk will be a Raider. And then his girlfriend on social media indicated in the lead up to locker room cleanout day that maybe Aiyuk's days with the Niners could be over. That started the contract drama and it started the trade rumors right from the jump. You're thinking, well, did Aiyuk tell his friend that he wants to play with the Raiders? Did he tell his girlfriend that, yeah, there's a reality in which I just played my last game as a Niner? Now, after that, during locker room cleanout day, Aiyuk did say, I want to be with the Niners. He was very emotional about the closeness of that team that won the NFC and made it to the Super Bowl when asked what he wanted for his future to win. And obviously the 49ers give him the best situation as far as head coach, quarterback, surrounding supporting cast, and being able to win games. But the latter of that is the money. Do the Niners have the money? Then at one point this offseason, Aiyuk tweeted directly at Steelers coach Mike Tomlin amid these Steelers trade rumors, which also streamlined more trade speculation around the second team All-Pro. And then this week, there was the TikTok in which Aiyuk said to Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels, who he played with at Arizona State, the Niners don't want me back. Now, keep in mind that this is often how contract standoffs go. Think back to what transpired during the 2022 offseason with Deebo Samuel. It's the same playbook here in 2024. Any contract negotiation, whether it's at the NFL level or it's between me and Chat Sports or you and your employer, it's all about the leverage game. And in something that's public, like the National Football League, controlling the narrative is key. That's why Aiyuk's agent is quote tweeting my commentaries about trade rumors. That's why Aiyuk's agent is taking to social media to say these Aiyuk trade rumors are fake news. This is why the Niners are leaking some information as far as their stance on the Aiyuk front. It's all about controlling the narrative. And of course, the big story this week is TikTok Gate, which brings me to the next portion of today's show. Aiyuk saying to Jayden Daniels that the Niners don't want him. I don't think that's the case. I would be floored. I would be shocked if John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan said to Aiyuk, we don't want you anymore. Because Aiyuk is a player who the 49ers drafted 25th overall back in 2020. They identified him as an impact player who went the JUCO route to Arizona State. There was a little bit of a risk, a little bit of a reach in the eyes of some when the Niners drafted Aiyuk. But then, year one, I know this team was depleted by injuries coming off the Super Bowl, but he led the team in receiving as a rookie and still missed a handful of games. There were some bumps early. He was in the doghouse in year two, but the Niners have invested time and coaching into a player who last year we saw develop into an All-Pro. He's an all-around wide receiver in this league. And John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have even said, we love him. We want him back. but it comes down to the price tag. And that's also what ESPN's Adam Schefter had to say. And here's the update from Schefter. Having spoken to the Niners multiple times, multiple Niners people throughout the course of the offseason, every single one of them said they want Brandon Aiyuk back. They absolutely do want him there. They just don't want him there at the price that he's looking for right now. And I agree with Schefter. It's all about the price. Which side will budge? The Niners probably offering somewhere around $25, $26, $27 million. That's great money. $25.5 to $26 million would be more than Devontae Smith. It would be more than Deebo Samuel, and just slightly less than Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jalen Waddle. That's great money, generational money, especially factoring in what the guaranteed cash could be. What if it's $50 to $70 million, right? But then Aiyuk's saying, Justin Jefferson got 35. I'm not at that level, but I might be owed $30 million. So are the Niners willing to go up to 28, and is Aiyuk willing to come down to $28 million? This is how these contract negotiations go. You always start off at the high price if you're the player. Then you come down. The organization, they're going to start low because they want to try to save as much money as possible and be fiscally conservative. Keep in mind, the 49ers have a little flexibility here, and they do have some leverage. If Aiyuk doesn't like any of the deals that the Niners put on the table for him, and he wants to risk playing out the final year of his deal, which is the fifth-year option, he can do that. Or he could take the money that the Niners put on the table. The Niners also have leverage because, Aiyuk, you don't like our deal? You're going to have to play under the fifth-year option or not play at all. And we could still franchise tag you to keep you under team control. So what should the Niners do with Aiyuk? Sign and pay, or should they trade him? That is today's poll question. It's today's pinned comment, so let me know what you're thinking. If you want further thoughts for what Aiyuk might demand and what the price tag might be, this graphic here might help you. This is a list of the top 10 highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. And when I say that $25.5 million is still excellent money, it's top 10 wide receiver money. Now, Justin Jefferson is making $35 million per year. A.J. Brown behind him at $32. Tyreek Hill, 30 even. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 30 even. Jalen Waddle, 28 plus. Devontae Adams at 28. Cooper Kupp, 26.7. And then the range in which I think Aiyuk is worth and what the Niners could have signed him to earlier this offseason is in that $25, $27 million per year range because the market has exploded. And if you want to tell me that Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams and Amon-Ra St. Brown are better than Aiyuk, you have an argument to be made. But Adams and Kupp signed those deals a while ago, and the wide receiver market is different now. Nico Collins, to me, at 24.25 is a bargain. DK Metcalf at 24. That is a bargain. So Aiyuk is going to fall somewhere in this range, but how much is it going to be? That is the big question. Now, we heard from Adam Schefter just moments ago on Aiyuk. He's reporting that the Niners want him back at their price, or at least not at the price that Aiyuk is demanding right now. Now let's hear from Albert Breer. And if you're looking for a positive Aiyuk update, here you go. Albert Breer, there's a lot of noise out there, most of it uninformed about the San Francisco 49ers position on Brandon Aiyuk and the possibility that things are devolving to the point where the second-team All-Pro could be traded. I would not listen to that. Not yet, at least. That's good stuff from Albert Breer if you want the positive spin, the glass-half-full approach, but let's be real. Does anybody really know? No. Here's more from Albert Breer on Aiyuk. It's short of where Jalen Waddle and Amon-Ra St. Brown are, around $28 million APY, and of course a far cry from Justin Jefferson territory, but it's close enough to the first two guys to think there's a deal to be done. In the case of Aiyuk, with $14.1 million locked in for this year, that would mean $75 million over the first 3 years of a new contract, folding that fifth-year option in. So the fifth-year option can be used at your disposal, at your strength, because that can be included. And Aiyuk playing this year at $14 million could be a bargain if he ends up performing just like he did last year. So plenty of different avenues that can be taken, that could be exhausted here for the Niners to get a deal done. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're talking all things Niners every day right here on this show. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. You're all real ones.